Namaste. When you're ready today, let's come down to lying down, and as you settle down into your Shavasana, just have something to support the head. A cushion from your settee, your sofa, or a pillow. Just have that for your Shavasana today. And take a moment here just to surrender the body to the earth. Arranging the whole of the back body comfortably. Sensing how the lower back and hips feel. May feel more comfortable for you today to have the legs extended all the way out in front. Just releasing the little toes to the top two corners of the mat. Or maybe you'd prefer to take a bend in the knees, place the soles of the feet onto the floor. Encouraging the chest to open as you soften and release the shoulder blades into the earth. The arms and hands are resting alongside the body, either palms facing upwards or downwards. We'll take a bend in the elbows, cradle the lower abdomen with the hands, and just close the eyes. So just beginning to arrive in your body. And starting to let go of your week so far. Anything that's caused you stress or unease. Or maybe that familiar feeling of being a little bit unsettled at the moment. Just see if you can let all of that filter into the background. So we can spend some time here bathing in the experience of the present moment. And then gently scan all the way from the tips of your toes up to the crown of your head. Observing your physical self right here, right now. Just for awareness to the breath. Not changing your breath in any way, but just note that you're breathing. Feel that you're breathing. Feel how your body expands into space. And feel those sensations on the skin. How the body expands onto the surface, supporting you. And those same sensations in the skin here. Feeling your body being breathed from the inside out. In the next breath or two, bring your hands to rest on your belly. And as you begin to breathe just a little bit more deeply, notice how the hands rise and fall as the belly rises and falls. Maybe the fingertips are just gently touching. Observe here how they may spread apart as you inhale. Taking a few moments, harnessing this breath. This complete yogic breath, all the way down into your belly, into the lungs, sides of the chest, the rib cage expanding, even the soft parting of the collarbones. Just sensing this whole movement, this complete yogic breath. Belly to collarbone. If you find that the mind wanders, bring your mind, your attention back to the breath and the sensations of the breath. So very carefully, very slowly, just start to release the hands from the abdomen. Releasing the arms and hands to rest back alongside the body. And if the knees aren't already bent, let's start to think about taking a bend in the knees. We're going to draw the knees up high over the chest. Interlace the fingers around your knees, around your shins, and either allow yourself a moment of lovely stillness, or maybe it feels easier for you today to gently rock from side to side. In either variation here, just sensing that lovely stretch. We're starting to get through the lumbar spine, through the back of the hips, squeezing it into the belly, into the front of the thighs. Maybe still keeping the eyes closed. And if you're gently rocking from side to side, let's bring the knees back to centre. Release fingers, hands, lower the soles of the feet down onto the floor. And I'd like you to extend your legs all the way out in front. So keep some engagement in the legs, toes towards the sky. And as you settle down into the start of this pose, make sure the whole back body feels comfortable. There's some symmetry of the back body resting on the earth, so you don't feel uncomfortable here. It's really important that the lower back feels comfortable, the middle, the upper spine, the shoulder blades. Tuck the chin in down towards the chest. Keep that engagement through the legs, toes towards the sky. And from here, we're going to extend the arms all the way out to shoulder height. So the back of the arms are resting on the floor, palms facing up towards the sky. As you do that, as you extend out through the arms, we open the chest. You want to keep releasing and softening the shoulders down into the earth. We're going to come into a pose called extended rotated heart pose. So from here, I'd like to bend up your right knee, plant the sole of your right foot onto the floor. And then we're going to start to roll all the way over onto the left. As we do that, we bring the right arm with us. And we want the right palm of the right hand to rest on the palm of the left hand. And then we're going to bring that right knee all the way over. So that right knee will rest on the floor or on the mat over towards your left side. And then get comfortable here. So the head is resting on that cushion still. The shoulder feels okay. We've got that left leg extended, the right knee touching the floor. When you're ready, you're going to keep the right knee resting on the floor. You're going to inhale here. You're going to start to raise up right arm, right hand towards the sky. And you're going to see, if, as you keep that right knee on the floor, if you can start to really open around the heart space and take that right arm back, take your gaze over towards your right hand and where it feels comfortable. As you exhale, let's bring that right arm, right hand back to meet the left hand, left palm. Inhale, start to open, raise that right arm, right hand up towards the sky, and where it feels comfortable for you today, take your gaze, the gaze follows that hand. Exhale, let's bring that arm back. So let's continue with this. Keeping that right knee firmly pushing down into the floor over towards the left. So the movement is just coming through the arms, the chest, the heart space, opening the heart and encouraging that flow of prana energy into the heart space. Let's do a couple more here. Let's make this our last exhale as we bring that right arm, right hand back to meet the left arm, palm of the left hand. Release arms and hands. Come back to lying on your back. Make sure the head is still supported. Take a moment here. Releasing through the whole of the back, releasing the shoulders, don't lose the safety of the neck, so tuck the chin in. Let's extend the arms all the way up to shoulder height, palms towards the sky, soften and release around the shoulders, engagement through the legs, toes pointing up towards the sky. Bend up the left knee, and this time let's start to roll it all the way over onto the right. So we roll it all the way over onto the right, encouraging that left arm, left hand to meet the right arm, right hand. And just rest that left knee on the floor, on the mat, over towards your right. Make sure the shoulders feel comfortable, your head feels comfortable. Let's inhale, let's start to raise up through that left arm, left hand. Keep that left knee where it is. And take this twist through the thoracic spine to where it feels comfortable. Maybe allowing that left arm, back of the left hand to reach the floor. Maybe it doesn't quite reach the floor today. Exhale, coming all the way back. Inhale, opening the chest, raise that left arm, left hand, opening. Keep that left knee where it is if you can. Exhale. Let's carry on with this with our own breath, just as we did on our first side. Enjoying how that feels through the chest. Really stretching out. Getting that rotation around the spine. So we know that twists, rotations in yoga are really important, not only for the detoxing properties, but they also keep all those tissues, muscles and ligaments surrounding the spine nice and pliable, able to move. That rush of fresh blood into all those bits that surround the spine, helping us keep moving. Do a few more here. And then let's make this our last one. As we exhale, slowly, carefully bringing that left arm, palm of the left hand back to meet the right arm, right hand. Take a moment here. Let's release the arms and hands. Come back to lying on your back. We're going to come into yogic bicycles. So I'd like you please to remove the cushion from underneath your head. Come all the way down to lying down. Take a moment to get comfortable here, ensuring we've got some lovely symmetry with the back body resting on the earth. Ensuring the back of the hips, the heavy sacrum bone is releasing down into the floor. The middle, the upper spine, the shoulders. The arms are just resting alongside the body, palms facing downwards. And tuck the chin in down towards the chest. Let's start to take a bend in the knees. We're going to draw the knees up high over the chest. And then from here, we're going to take a bend in the elbows. We're just going to take our fingertips to our belly. So the belly just below the ribs. And then from here, with the knees up high over the chest, I like to draw in around the belly. Let's start to knit those front ribs back. We're starting to switch on those core abdominal muscles, which we need for our yogic bicycles. And as you do that, you can just start to feel a slight movement underneath the fingers, underneath the pads of the fingers. Keep that in mind. Let's release the arms and the hands. And just push your knees away. We want to come into a right angle bend through the knees so that the calf muscles are parallel to the mat. And as you start to take the legs away, you can start to feel that around the belly. So still keep gathering in around the belly. Draw those front ribs back. From here, we're going to extend the arms towards the sky. Fingertips towards the sky, but we want to soften and release the shoulders. Keep gathering around the belly. Inhale here. As you exhale, you can extend through that right leg and hover that right leg about an inch above the mat. Inhale, bring that right knee back. And you've guessed it, as you exhale, do exactly the same with the left leg, hovering that left leg. Continue this movement with your breath, so keep breathing. It's really important to keep that connection around the core abdominal muscles here. Keep drawing the front ribs back. And make sure that we're working the right parts of our tummy muscles, working down into the pelvic floor muscles, working, strengthening the muscles of the legs, the hamstrings, the quads, down into the lower legs, working around the thighs, sides of the body, up into the shoulders. If this is too much, if you need to take a break, just hug the knees in towards the chest, gently rock from side to side. Let's do a few more here. Let's make this our last exhale. Well done. Let's draw the knees in towards the chest. Just gently rock from side to side. Bring the knees back to centre. Take the hands onto the kneecaps. Right hand on top of right knee, left hand on top of left knee, fingers pointing down towards the toes. And then just draw those lovely hip circles, circling each knee out to the side, slowly drawing back to centre. So massaging into the belly, into the lower back, the kidneys, just releasing and opening those hip flexors. Change direction when you're ready. Allow the knees to close. Gently rock from side to side. Bring the knees back to centre. Raise your right arm. Keep that right arm elevated as you roll all the way over onto your right side. Let's take a moment here to rest the head on that raised arm. Allowing yourself to take a little fuller inhale and a little fuller exhale. Slowly, carefully, in your own time, take weight into the left fingers, into your left hand. When you're ready, push down into that hand. Use that hand to steady yourself as you slowly, carefully come all the way up. We're going to come into our Sukhasana, our easy pose. So let's take a moment here to find something to sit on. Either our blocks, looks like this, or that cushion we rested our head on earlier. And find your comfortable Sukhasana for you today. Be mindful of the hamstrings. If you're sitting here with the legs extended out in front, if hamstrings are tight, take a blanket behind the top of the thighs, or come into a comfortable cross-leg position. Either way, it's really, really important that you feel comfortable here. Adjust around the sitting bones, have a little wiggle around through the sitting bones on top of the block. We're looking for that lovely, even and neutral pelvic bowl. Take a moment here to feel as comfortable as you can. We're going to allow the spine to lengthen all the way up through the crown of the head. You can soften and release the shoulder blades. Reopen the chest, allowing the collarbones to float up towards the sky. We're going to come into Gaya Mudra with our hands. Got a bend in the elbows, so just turn the palms towards the sky, and you're going to make a circle with the tip of your thumb and your forefinger with both hands. And just rest the back of your hands on your legs. And you can still do that even if the legs are extended out in front. As you do that, just ensure the shoulders don't start to creep up around the ears. I want you to feel as relaxed and as comfortable as you can in your Sukhasana today. Hands in the Gaya Mudra. The Gaya Mudra is said to relate to the expansiveness and knowledge of the universe. It's also said to be very calming for the nervous system. If you feel comfortable here, I'd like to invite you please to close your eyes. And as you close the eyes, observe the whereabouts of your breath today. See if you can feel the breath down into the belly rising and falling as you inhale, exhale. Maybe the breath is a little bit higher, up around the lungs, the diaphragm. Maybe observing the breath in the back body, around the shoulder blades. Or maybe the breath a little bit higher, up around the neck, the collarbones, even up around the ears. Just observe, no right or wrong. So we're going to explore a pranayama exercise today called box breathing or square breathing. It's where we basically reset our breath. It's highly effective to do when we're feeling stressed or anxious. And we're going to be breathing ideally in and out through our nose. So we're going to seal the lips. But if you've got the remnants of hay fever perhaps, and breathing in and out the nose is just impossible today, then please breathe in and out through your mouth. And equally, if at any time the box breathing, the square breathing doesn't suit you today, please breathe normally through an opened mouth or through the nose. Still ensure that you feel comfortable here, the spine still lengthening all the way up through the crown of the head. Close the eyes. You're going to seal the lips if that feels okay, and the next time you inhale through the nose to count 4. And then you're going to hold the breath. You're going to keep the lungs nice and full for 4. And then you're going to exhale to a count of 4. And then you're going to pause. So you keep the breath out. Keep the lungs empty for 4. Inhale through the nose to a count of 4. Then hold the breath, keep the lungs full for 4. Exhale for 4. And then pause, so keeping the lungs empty for 4. So continue with this, with your own counting, with your own breath. A few more rounds here. Please feel free to stop or change position of the legs if you need to, if you're starting to feel uncomfortable. So the next time you're in that space of pause, after your next exhalation, where you're keeping the lungs empty for a count of 4. Then just allow your normal breath to return into the body. Slowly, carefully keep the eyes closed if that still feels okay. And as the normal breath returns, observe here if anything has changed in the breath, in the mind. Maybe something has shifted slightly, maybe nothing has changed at all. No right or wrong experience. Just getting used to the normal flow of breath in the body. Please feel free to start to move the fingers and the hands out of your Gaya Mudra. Keep the eyes closed for a fraction longer. Please feel free to change the cross of your legs if you need to, if things are starting to go to sleep. You've still got that lovely length through the spine. Keep your gaze down towards the mat, towards the earth. Let's start to blink the eyes open. Allowing some light to start to trickle back in. Bringing the chin all the way up. Bringing yourself back into the room. Let's take the arms all the way out to the sides. Palms facing me. Release the shoulders. With the spine lengthening, let's cross the arms. Let's take the hands to the shoulders. We're going to give ourselves a nice hug. As we inhale, let's squeeze the hands into the shoulder blades. As we exhale, the fingers, the hands just release off the shoulder blades slightly. And continue a couple of nice deep breaths here. Squeezing, lengthening, exhaling. On our next exhale, let's slowly, carefully release the arms. Take the arms nice and wide. Open the chest, spread out through the hands and fingers. And then let's change the cross of the arms. Take the hands to the shoulder blades again. Let's do another round of our hugging. So we inhale, squeeze. Lengthen through the spine as we exhale. Just release the fingers slightly from the shoulders. Give ourselves a nice, well-earned hug. On our next exhale, let's slowly release the fingers, hands from the shoulder blades. Take the arms nice and wide, open the chest. We're going to release the arms and hands. We're going to come off our cushion or our block. We're going to get ready to come in to downward facing dog. So let's remove everything from our mats. Remove our socks unless we've got our special yoga sticky socks on, and let's find ourselves in our comfortable all fours position, our tabletop position. So looking after fingers, hands and wrists today, spread the fingers apart. Distribute the weight across the whole of the hand, the pads of the fingers. Wrists are directly underneath the shoulders. Look down at your knees, make sure the knees are hip width apart. And then we've got that lovely length all the way through the spine, from the crown of the head to the tailbone. Push the earth away, create space around the shoulders and the ears. Draw the navel in towards the spine. Can you see that as I do that? I come into a really super flat back. Tuck the toes under. Shift the weight back into the thighs. Let's push up into your downward facing dog. So take a moment here to get comfortable, adjusting the fingers, the hands, toes and feet. Maybe it's better today to have the knees bent, or maybe you prefer to have the legs a little bit straighter. And just direct the heels down towards the mat. I don't want the heels flattened to the floor. I prefer for you to have a good shape through the spine
and you can draw the ribs towards the thighs as you bend the knees. Let's walk the dog here. Bring your movement into the back of the legs, the hips. Slowly, don't rush. Come back into your static downward facing dog. So you may prefer today to walk the dog, static downward facing dog, then come down into child's pose, alternate there, or you may prefer to come into something a little bit extra that I'm going to do today, come into a twist. So make sure you're in a really comfortable downward facing dog first. If you want to come into the twist, we're going to take our right hand to the outside of our left shin. We're going to pull onto that shin and we take the weight all into that left hand. We take our gaze underneath our left arm. Hello. Keep breathing. Bring the spine, your head back to center. Release that right hand down. Let's walk the dog again. Come back into your static downward facing dog. Bend the knees. Let's take the left hand to the outside of the right shin. Pull it onto that hand, pull it onto that right shin as you start to rotate and look underneath your left armpit. The weight is all the way into the right hand, right wrist. If that's too much at any time, come out. This is a challenging pose. Let's bring the spine, the head back to center, release that left hand down. Walk the dog. Come back into your static downward facing dog. Take a moment here. Come out into child's pose if you need to. Shoulders are active. Release the neck and the head totally. Feel that working through the body into the legs. When you're ready, bend the knees. If the knees aren't already bent, look towards your hands. Taking as many steps as you need today. Walk the hands towards the feet or the feet towards the hands. Let's come into our calming forward fold into Uttanasana. Take the hands to the inner elbows. Make a box shape with the hands, the arms. Release totally through the neck, the crown of the head towards the floor, the chest towards the thighs. Let's gently rock from side to side. Maybe bend the knees here. Check what the body wants, what the body needs. Making those adjustments to make this pose suit you today. Come back to center. Release the hands from the inner elbows. Find the hands back onto the shins, the feet, the sides of the feet. Keep releasing through the neck and the head. Breathe into the upper back body. We know the lungs occupy a huge space in our upper back. So use, breathe into that space around the shoulder blades, the back ribs. Keep the knees bent. Let's start to suck everything up. So rely on the groundedness through the toes and the feet. Push in to the four corners of the feet. Use the strength in the legs, the core, to make this transition slow and safe. Fingers, hands and arms are heavy. Coming all the way up. The last thing to come up will be your neck and your head. And then you can straighten out through the legs, straighten out through the knees. Come to face me on your mats. Find a good Tadasana, feet directly underneath the hips. And sense a connection with the toes, the four corners of the feet into the earth. Maybe wiggle around through the ankles, the feet slightly. And as you push down through the feet, start to draw that Pada Bandha energy all the way up through the legs. Kneecaps lifted, thighs are firm, pelvis neutral. The spine lengthening the sides of the body. Soften and release the shoulders, keep the chest nice and open. Crown of the head up towards the sky. So from here, bring awareness to your navel. And we want to draw the navel in towards the spine. So from sideways, as we do that, you can see my tailbone starting to push down. There's a tilt of the pelvic bowl. And as we do that, we start to fire up and energize all this area in our core abdominal muscles. So draw the navel in towards the spine, sink the tailbone down. Keep that in mind. We're going to sink down into chair pose. Take the arms out in front. Release the shoulders. So if this gets too much today, you can alternate between straightening the legs, keeping the navel drawn in, and then sinking back down into chair. That's a real workout for the legs. You'll feel that in the quads and the hamstrings. Keep reaching out through the arms and the fingers and keep softening around the shoulders. If you want to come into static Utkatasana chair pose, sink down into that comfy, imaginable chair. Keep drawing in around the belly, tailbone down. That's going to look after the lower back, prevent the lumbar spine from overarching. We're going to bring the hands together in Anjali Mudra. Bring the hands all the way into heart space. Keep breathing, keep smiling here. So you can stay here. If you want to come into one stage further, let's rotate. Let's take the right elbow to the outside of the left knee, left thigh. Pull onto that elbow to draw the hands in towards the centre of the chest as you take your gaze over towards the left. Check that you're breathing here. Slowly, carefully come back to centre. If you need to come out of this, please do so. If you want to balance this rotation up to the other side, let's start to take our left elbow to the outside of the right knee, right thigh. Pull on the elbow. Trying to draw the hands in towards the centre of the chest as you look over towards the right. Breathe in here. Slowly, carefully come back to centre. See if you can squat down a little bit further. We're nearly there. Breathe. Inhale here as we exhale. You can still feel your legs and your feet push into the feet and the legs. Coming all the way up. Release fingers, hands and arms. Come back into a good Tadasana. Make sure you can feel the feet moving around through the ankles. Push down into the feet. Draw that Pada Bandha energy all the way up. Legs active, finding the length through the spine, out through the crown of the head. Let's come into a comfortable wide stance. We're going to come into Virabhadrasana 2 into Trikonasana. So Warrior 2 into Triangle. So as you separate the feet, excuse me, check the feet aren't too wide that you feel unbalanced. Let's turn the toes on the right foot out. Turn the toes on the left foot into about 45 degrees. And then we're going to take a nice bend through that right knee, looking after that right knee joint. It's directly above the ankle, we can see the big toe, and then push down into the outer edge of that left foot. So we're not just concentrating on this right thigh, right knee, right foot. We've got two legs and we want them to be both nice and strong to keep us balanced and stable in this pose. Without losing the integrity of that right knee, turn your hips and your ribs towards me. Let's open out through the arms, stretch out through the hands and fingers, open the chest, release the shoulders. Turn your gaze over your right hand. As you do that, sink down a little bit further through your right knee and ensure that we're taking those shoulders away from the ears. Breathe here. Inhale, let's turn the palms towards the sky. Exhale, palms towards earth. Continue. Make this our last exhale. Pushing into the feet, keep your gaze over your right hand, straighten through that right leg. Let's come into Trikonasana. Let's reach, all the way over towards the right. As if I'm pulling your right hand away from you when you can't reach anymore. Take the right arm down. Take the left arm, left hand up. Look up towards that left hand or down towards that right foot. Keep breathing. Inhale here as we exhale. Come all the way up. Release the arms. Let's change the feet round. Have the toes on the left foot out. Toes on the right foot in. So again, just check you're not too wide, you feel unbalanced. Toes on the right foot into 45 degrees. Let's take a bend through the left knee, just as we did on our right side. So a nice right angle through the knee, knee safe directly above the ankle. We can see the big toe. And remember, we're not just concentrating on the left leg, left foot. We want that right leg, right foot to be nice and strong. So pushing into the outer edge of that right foot. Without losing the integrity of that left knee, turn your hips and your ribs towards me. Raise up your arms. Open the chest. Stretch out through the arms, hands and fingers and release the shoulders away from the ears. Turn your gaze over your left hand and see if you can squat down into that left knee a little bit further. Breathe in here. Inhale, palms towards the sky. Exhale, palms towards the earth. So continue this. This is our last exhale, palms towards the earth. Keep the arms elevated, make sure those shoulders haven't crept up, releasing the shoulders. Let's straighten through that left leg. And then we're going to reach, all the way over towards the left. Imagine I'm pulling your left hand away when you can't reach anymore. Take the left arm down. Take the right arm up, gaze up to the right hand or down towards that left foot. Keep breathing. Inhale here as we exhale. Slowly, carefully coming all the way up. Release the arms and hands. Turn your toes towards me, heel toe back to center. Coming back into Tadasana. Feet directly underneath the hips. Arms and hands are nice and heavy alongside the body. Soften, release the shoulders. Stand all the way out through the crown of the head. Let's draw our windmill circles, just releasing out the arms, the sides of the body, the legs, the thighs. And start to bring a little bit more control into this. So start to break the circles. Bring the circles a little bit smaller. A little bit smaller even still. A little bit smaller. A little bit smaller. A little bit smaller. A little bit smaller. So we're going to come into our final pose before our final Shavasana. We're going to come into Paschimottanasana, which is a lovely forward fold. So again, using that cushion that we used earlier, or if you have a block, super. You will need a belt if you have one. A dressing gown belt is good, or an old tie. Now we want to sit in a comfortable position on the block with the legs extended all the way out in front. So take a moment to wiggle around through the sitting bones on top of your cushion or your block. We've got engagement through the legs, toes towards the sky, and then you're going to open your dressing gown belt, your old tie, or your yoga strap, your belt, around the balls of your feet. Take a moment to get comfortable with the opened belt. We want the belt to be equal in both hands, and just get used to feeling the belt in the hands. Get used to the position of your elbows. We want the elbows in towards the side of the body. We want to prevent the elbows being out towards the side and us holding on to the belt for dear life. We want to be relaxed as we come into our forward fold. So we've got comfort through the sitting bones. We've got a nice long spine extending all the way out through the crown of the head. We're released through the shoulders and the elbows. The hands are in a comfortable position holding onto the belt. The toes are up towards the sky. We're going to inhale here, lengthen. As we exhale, keep that length through the spine. Start to draw the tummy towards the top of the thighs. Start to slide the hands down the belt. Keep the spine long and just look over the top of the toes. Breathe here, don't hold the breath. We're going to inhale here. As you exhale, slowly, carefully coming all the way up. Allow the hands to slide up the belt to facilitate the spine coming all the way up. Slowly, carefully. Then release the belt. Take the belt all the way out to the sides. Let's come off our cushion, off our block, and come down to lying down in our final Shavasana. Maybe putting on some socks, an extra layer or two. Maybe having the cushion for the head, covering yourself with a blanket. Take a moment here to find a comfortable position for your final Shavasana, your final relaxation. Taking time here just to arrange the physical self comfortably. And as you arrange the physical self comfortably in Shavasana, the breath can flow naturally. Just giving your mind this opportunity to settle. Take a moment just to soften the forehead. Close the eyes. Release that space in between the eyes. Relax the jaw. Soften your tongue away from the roof of the mouth. Integration of our practice here today. Mind, body, and spirit. The inside of the head needs to rest. The two hemispheres of the brain slide away from each other. There is no space between the two, and the head is able to be more silent, more quiet. This silence travels to the rest of the body, and it reaches the palms of the hands and soul.